Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game. And how you
Hey
play
yo,
it.
and welcome to BAM, the show where we talk a little bit about the sports, a little bit of entertainment, and then at the end of the show we combine it all to chat some sports entertainment. We're hosts, as always. I'm Boris, and I'm joined by Matt.
Bonjour. How's everybody doing out there? We hope you're doing well. Boris, we're in person for the first time in 2022. This is the second time I've seen you physically since Christmas.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it is crazy. But yeah, we're here in person. This is the first time we're recording BAM in person since our ROH draft.
Oh, wow. That was my favorite episode we've ever done. I think probably our most popular was sadly the Love Guru episode somehow. But that like the Ring of Honor episode is like my favorite thing I've done with wrestling involved in my entire life. I think we killed that.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. And we're going to be talking a little bit about one of the people that we chatted about in a little bit. But yeah, man, we have a lot to talk about today. So it is a little later on Friday than we wanted to, but this is what happened. So there was the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
And we were thinking how we were going to record this. We even thought of recording as if Canada won, as if Canada lost, and then I can splice it in. But obviously, I wanted to, give the sport some justice because we tend to nerd out about soccer on this show. At least I do. So, I wanted to continue that tradition. And
it had been going pretty well for us. It had been going pretty well for Canada. We were expecting to qualify yesterday, and we're still gonna. But
well, it's funny that you even say that because I don't know if it was you I was talking to or Kevin O'Leary that I was talking to, but I'm like, my biggest concern and my biggest fear is that Canada is going to Canada.
yeah, they candidated pretty hard. Although it wasn't a bad effort. They kind of got snake bit. There was, in my opinion, a bad call. Some people might disagree. I don't think that was worth a red card. But anyway, they got down a man early, and yeah, it was not the best night for Canadian soccer.
No, it wasn't. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we're going to be talking some World Cup qualifiers from around the world. We're going to be chatting some.
Yeah, we're going to be chatting a little bit of Triple H. We're going to just pay some respects. We don't have a list or anything ready because we just found out this afternoon that he is officially retired, although we kind of knew as soon as the health thing happened that he was never having another wrestling match. In WWE anyway, and he was never leaving the company, so there you go. But anyway, we'll pour one out for Triple H on this show. Also, we're going to talk a little New Japan Cup. There was an awesome New Japan Cup show, at least the top two matches from the 13th night of the New Japan Cup, the final night of the quarterfinals. I think we have a top 5 match of the year contender in there.
Ooh.
Oh,
I can't wait.
unbelievable wrestling.
I cannot wait. And then we're going to be jumping here and there because that's the type of show it's going to be tonight. But before we do anything, Matt, you're probably wondering why there are 2 empty glasses in front of us.
I didn't even notice the empty glasses. By God.
There are 2 empty glasses in front of us.
Oh, my. Yeah, so are we going to be drinking some water? Do you have some cream sodas in there, Boris? Let's go. Boris is reaching into the fridge right now. And, what have we here? Some cream ale? A little bit of the nice.
A few weeks ago, about a month ago now, I met up with one of the Smack Daddies. I met up with good old Greg on his way to a business trip. We spent a few hours together, and he was nice enough to bring some 9 Locks beer for us.
Beautiful. So are we doing a live taste test here on the air?
We're doing a live taste test here on the air.
Let's do it, buddy.
So, yeah. What do you want to start with? I'm going to let you pick. I'm going to let you pour. I'll vamp for the listeners. This is like the worst episode ever already.
We were so cocky off the hop, too, or at least I was, talking a big game about our ROH draft. I think I'm going to start with the 9 Locks Dirty Blonde here. At this moment, we would also like to thank Great Lakes Lager for sponsoring us. Drink Great Lakes instead of this beer.
Whatever, this is a podcast. I'm joking.
I literally am also sipping a Great Lakes while we do this, so
I was
there's
earlier.
the crack.
I was earlier.
All right. So yeah, Do you want to just start talking about Canada while I pour this drink?
Exactly. Let's start talking about some Canada. So yesterday, Canada, it was the last round of qualifying started, and all Canada, well, not all Canada need to do, but to secure a berth into World Cup in Qatar in November, all they needed to do was beat Costa Rica. And I say all like if it's like the easiest thing humanly possible, right? Like, this is a team that's super good. They're typically a very difficult game for Canada. The coach for Costa Rica is the coach that broke many Canadians' hearts many years ago. He used to coach Honduras when Canada lost 8-1 in Honduras in that embarrassing game.
Possibly the nadir, the low point of Canadian soccer in my lifetime.
I think it was. I honestly think it was. So, go into the game, and right away, you know, a lot of soccer supporters, we've come up with a term, and it's called CONCACAF. You're being CONCACAF'd.
Please explain this term to me, homie.
I will. And it's essentially that CONCACAF is so freaking like they have their own agenda in such a way.
Okay.
You know, so they're gonna, you know, do certain things in the game, and you know, the refs will make certain calls to give an advantage to another team. We have seen this time in and time out against Canada, against the U.S. It happens a lot. Like, there is, you know, it's a legit thing.
So it's a little bit of like what people used to say about the NBA and the Lakers, except in reverse. They're almost trying to keep the lower level teams competitive with the better teams.
Exactly. Okay. That's exactly it. So, you know, we go in, 15th minute, player gets a yellow card. That, you know, here's the thing. Studs up, you're going to most likely get a yellow.
Fair enough. I am a novice soccer viewer. You obviously know the sport way better than I do. Coming from a place where I watch a lot of hockey and football, that did not look like a penalty at all to me. But when you explain it like that, I understand. That makes sense.
It was studs up. Ball wasn't anywhere near them.
Yeah.
It, you know, some could say it could have been a 50-50, but let's take the yellow, whatever. 15 minutes later, and the crowd is starting to get to this player K, and you can tell that he's a little aggressive. And here's the thing. I said minutes before he got the red that he should have been taken out of the game.
Yeah, because
there was a 50-50 challenge, and he didn't go for it.
Yeah, so he was not only like frustrated, but kind of becoming tentative as well in the game. And that is a bad mix. That is not what you want. You don't want to be like thinking so much about everything you do that you're paralyzing yourself, basically. And yes, I completely know what you mean, man.
Exactly. So, you know, in the 30th, he gets taken down. He gets a little upset. Instead of talking to the player, he gives him a light elbow or a light shoulder.
Yeah, and
shoulder to shoulder.
This is like, I understand the sport of soccer. I understand the flopping, but this is what disgusts the casual fan. Disgusts them. I was ready to throw up when I saw Buddy flop and him get red carded.
Dude, it disgusts soccer like hardcores like myself and other supporters or whatever, right? Like, everyone hates this. But no ref has the balls to do anything about it.
Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar with what happened, he lightly taps the Costa Rican guy. I forget the Costa Rican guy's name. But he lightly taps him. Costa Rican buddy goes down like he was shot. He takes a bump like a young Jeff Hardy. Takes a bump like a young 1-2-3 kid. And Buddy gets a red card and gets tossed from the game for the weakest little shoulder tap, which obviously you can't do. And obviously he's already got the yellow. But at the same time, that can't be a foul.
No, that's not even a talking to. Yeah. That's nothing in real, you know, in day-to-day soccer, which is just absolutely ludicrous at the end of the day. So Canada now 10 men down. You know, they have to change their game style, and they in the 40th plus minute, so in extra time in the first half, Costa Rica scores off of a cheeky header, which has been our like downfall. Honestly, like, we're not good in set pieces, and we give up the ball a lot. I said that last time. Yeah,
you did. You have said that before, man. And yeah, I guess it was proven correct there. Oh man, it reminds me of playing FIFA. Every time I give up a goal in the 45th or the 90th, every time I play.
There's a stat where like a high percentage. I'm not even going to throw out a number because I don't know the number.
Right.
It's a high percentage of goals happen, you know, in the last 5 minutes of the half and the game.
It does make sense because not only are obviously people like pressing, but like mistakes get made. You know what I mean? Like in high pressure situations, people choke more. They just do.
Exactly. So that's the unfortunate part there. And, you know, Canada came back in that second half. That second half, as a casual viewer, that must have been a fun half to watch.
I actually went to bed in frustration after the first half. So I don't know.
Well, I can tell you because I know as people were texting me. There was a watch party in a bar I never would have thought ever had a watch party, and apparently the bar was full. And yeah, people were having a lot of fun. It was a very good second half, and honestly, somebody above wanted Canada to lose this game because by the second half, because Panama and Honduras tied, all Canada needed was a tie.
Yeah.
In order to get their berth with an E to the World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah, because they are at least guaranteed to be in the top 4. So they are at the worst, in case of absolute disaster, still guaranteed to be in that weird play-in thing against Eurasia.
Yeah. So, yeah. But it was an amazing half. And I give it to the team. They came back. They fought hard. But it just wasn't our night. And, they played hard. And at the end of the day, Sunday at BMO Field in Toronto, Canada versus Jamaica, it's going to be rocking.
Exactly. And it'll be great if we can clinch it at home. That'll be very nice. That will feel good. That'll be a big party. It'll be a good time.
We spent 36 years waiting for this berth. What's another couple days?
Exactly right. Well put, buddy. Poetic in its own way. And I think it's nice to be able to do it at home.
Yeah, exactly. So that was Canada. So in other results in Estadio Azteca, Mexico and USA tied. This was huge for the U.S. because now the U.S. are more than likely going to end up in the top 3. So there's a huge fight now for number 4. So these are the standings as they stand, or the standings as they are today. So Canada is still number 1 with 25 points. USA is number 2 with 22 points. Mexico is number 3 with 22 points. Costa Rica is number 4 with 19 points. And Panama, number 5 with 18 points.
Yeah, so that Costa Rica, Panama, that's going to be a fun battle. That's the thing about these games. Like Costa Rica fighting for their absolute lives. So this game was far more important to them than it was to Canada at the end of the day. And I kind of think that bore out. But yeah, a team like Jamaica, they aren't fighting for anything. So I think Canada's going to steamroll.
Yeah, let's hope so. You never know what can happen. But here's the thing. BMO Field, Toronto, it's going to be a hell of an experience if you're going. I honestly can't wait. So that's essentially where we are in CONCACAF. There's only one other game I want to talk about, and it's just because I want to rub it in. North Macedonia eliminating Italy from the 2022 World Cup. First time in history, Italy will not make an appearance in back-to-back World Cups.
And they're the Euro champions. What? That's the craziest part.
Here's the thing. I said it way back when. That Euro tournament was full because it just wasn't real.
A Mickey Mouse tournament, Boris?
It was a Mickey Mouse tournament. It was the AEW Dark of tournaments.
I love it. I kind of agree with you. Yeah, it was kind of like, it was a wonky tournament. We'll call it a AEW Dark. Maybe at best, Dark Elevation. But,
it was NXT 2.0 of tournaments.
Yeah, that's an insult. Don't say anything you can't take back now.
I know, right? No, but yeah, Italy, a bit dirty.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Oh, man, it's so funny. I have a bunch of Italian friends. My one buddy, Rossi, was blowing up my phone today, just like, fuck FIFA, fuck this, go Canada, I guess. Like, I hate this. I'm over it, man. I'm over the World Cup. Qatar is so dumb anyway, like playing in the winter. Give this whole thing, like, I was just like, Forza Azzurri.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, so we are trying the Dirty Blonde first.
Yeah, cheers, homie.
Cheers.
I stepped in ahead of you while you were ranting. Good job, by the way. I like this. This is very nice.
Oh, thank you, Greg. Thank you, Smack Daddy. This is a good one.
Yes.
It's a very good one.
The 9 Locks Dirty Blonde, the second best beer I've drank today. To the Great Lakes, of course.
Of course, exactly.
Before we move out of sports, we got to talk about this team whose toque I'm wearing on my head right now. So the Miami Dolphins went and did a thing, traded five draft picks, 5 now, not 4, not 3, 5, including a first for Tyreek Hill, who has some allegations in his past, not the best human being. He is the level of guy who I won't even have in fantasy just because of the things that he's done. And I'm not saying people can't change it. I'm not trying to whatever, but like the domestic violence thing is something that I personally just I'm not gonna ever get over it, and you're not for.
I'm the same way.
It's just not for. Man, I don't know.
But did you hear of the rumors circulating around the NFL circles over the past 24 hours?
I know where you're going with this, and I have. Yeah. Are you talking about the Golden Boy himself?
I'm talking about the Golden Boy. My favorite player of all time since 2003. Always loved him. Always loved him.
Get out of here. Tom Brady is the latest rumor to Miami. So it looks like they're loading up. They grabbed Tyreek Hill. They traded a lot of draft picks. The only problem is Brady, I believe, has 1 year left with the Bucs on his contract. Tua Tagovailoa, as we know, is kind of hit and miss. He seems to be okay, but he's injury prone and doesn't take a lot of risks. He's like a poor man's Chad Pennington, which is not exactly what you want.
I have his shirt.
Chad Pennington was great. He was like top 3 in MVP voting 1 year.
Yeah.
He's very underrated. But like to be a poor man's version of that guy who had no arm strength, basically.
So Baker Mayfield.
Oh boy. So yeah, just disheartening. It sucks when your team goes like my roommate Fleetwood cheers for the Browns. They went out and got Deshaun Watson, who has 22 sexual assault charges against him. He's not going to be charged legally, but there's still many civil suits to deal with. And yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's just
this is why I say the three of us need to just find a new team that the three of us can root together.
Well,
not Buffalo.
Excuse me, not Buffalo. No, I refuse. I will not cheer for Buffalo. You can't make me. But one good thing about this is that Ontario finally has gotten single game betting. So we can just gamble a lot this year. Just watch football that way.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, dude. Man, if Tom Brady ends up with the Dolphins.
What a crazy offseason. What a turn of events. Like when the season ended, did you think, hey, we'd fire Brian Flores, he would sue the NFL, get signed as an assistant by Pittsburgh, then we would trade 5 draft picks for the fastest receiver in football, if not the best, certainly one of the most impactful receivers in football, and we might sign Tom Brady. Crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's absolutely crazy.
It's just up and down like a roller coaster, not even getting into who the receiver we got is.
We've talked about this in the past. Like 30 years ago, no one would move teams in the NFL.
No, it was really tough. Like, unless you got cut, which did happen a lot because NFL owners have always been ruthless and those players have always been pawns. But yeah, man, other than being cut, like you didn't get traded. There was no trades really in the NFL.
When Joe Montana left San Francisco and went to Kansas City,
it was a huge deal.
That was huge.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like when Ricky Williams got traded for 1 million draft picks, that was a humongous deal.
When Drew Bledsoe ended up in Buffalo.
Yeah, pretty big deal. Like all these things, like there was player movement, but yeah, not like this. Not like every offseason's almost like the NBA. You know what I mean? We've got to the point where the NHL, which used to have the most player movement, which used to have crazy trades every year, 6 players for 5. Doug Gilmour goes from Calgary to Toronto in a 13-player deal. Now the NHL is the old NFL, where players don't really move teams at all. You're basically stuck on your NHL team.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. But yeah, you know, this season of the NFL is honestly looking like someone up in the air is having a mock draft right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's like Madden 26 right now. That's what's happening.
It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. All right, before we do move away from sports, there's one last thing I want to talk about. That's the Jays.
Oh, man. The Jays are building an all-star lineup right now. They look like they're one of the favorites in the entire league. And, buddy, with this vaccination business happening, well, you know, like it's kind of lame to reap those benefits. I'm not saying I'm super proud of it, but the Jays got screwed over in the last 2 years. So, hey, like a little bit of benefit from the COVID thing, make it even a little bit, you know?
Exactly. It's gonna be a very interesting season. The Jays infield is looking absolutely unreal. You know, we have Chapman now in third. One of the best defensive third basemen in the league, if not the best, right? Yeah. Dude, this guy came from Oakland. People talk about his batting. I don't think people who complain about someone's batting take into consideration where they play.
Exactly right. Like, just to have any kind of power on that hot corner is an incredible like benefit, right? And we're going from Vlad Guerrero, who was a bad defensive third baseman, and whatever Santiago was like league average. Craig Biggio played there sometimes, like probably below league average, to number 1 or number 2 best defender at the position. That's a humongous upgrade right there. Never mind his bat. He could hit 9th the whole season, and our team has gotten much better.
Exactly. And then we got rid of Grechik yesterday, and a lot of people were upset. But here's the thing. The
guy we got, Raymond Tapia, man, from Colorado, buddy. He's the kind of guy who won you a fantasy league last year. He hits for average. He does some awesome things defensively. Lots of speed.
So here's the thing. This is where he's better than Grechik. Number 1, let's talk about the tangibles in field. He's a lefty.
Yeah.
Boom. Win.
Yeah.
He plays 2 outfield positions. Boom. Win. He's a better defensive player. Boom. Win. Now let's talk about contract. We were paying, and because we gave Grechik a huge raise.
Yes.
Huge raise. Now, the issue there is, we needed to move him because, Aka and Shapiro are still, they're still keeners, right? They're still savers. So here we are. He's cheaper, and we have him in control for a longer amount of time.
I think he's outright better. He's a better baseball player. Raymond Tapia is better than Randall Grichuk, and I am more excited about our team, especially like when you consider the handedness and the defensive ability.
Exactly. All right, we're moving on to beer number 2, Matthew Mateo. What do we got?
Here we got the 9 Locks Cream Ale. Once again, drink Great Lakes Brewery. But we are drinking 9 Locks Cream Ale.
This is for Greg. But yeah, no, the Jays are looking mighty good. The Dodgers, who I said last week I think weren't going to be that good, they've made movements. They made some movements. They got your boy Freddie Freeman. We were hoping he would come home, but you know what, Matt Chapman. He went home. He went to your home. Matt Chapman is cheers, buddy. Matt Chapman is a good, booby prize. It's not even a booby prize, but it's not what we wanted. We wanted Freddie Freeman. We wanted the Canadian lad to come home. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the Jays got someone where they needed someone. I'm not a huge fan, especially with the Jays, right, of them getting players just for the sake of getting players. Like, we needed a second baseman or a third baseman. We went out and got one of the best third basemen, and now we have Espinal and what's his name?
Craig?
Yeah, Biggio.
Yeah. Not Craig.
Rotating.
Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin.
Biggio Jr. Yes.
Yeah. Biggio Jr. Rotating, right? So we're good now.
Oh, yeah,
good.
Absolutely. No, man. Yeah, adding Freddie Freeman at the end of the day was a fantasy baseball move. It was a video game move. MLB The Show 22 style move. I just wanted it. I'm just a selfish fan, Boris.
Oh, we're all selfish in our own ways. We're all selfish in our own ways, my friend. All right, anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the wrestling?
No, I think that's good sports talk. We still got there's WrestleMania coming up, so we're not going to do it next week, but we still got to do an NHL like full 1 through 32 breakdown before the playoffs, so maybe the week after.
Yep. Yeah. We can do that for sure. As we do our MLB preview, we can do our NHL breakdown.
That's a really good call. Yeah, I think, hopefully, if all goes according to plan, we're going to have my buddy Adam Gourlay, who's an artist and a comedian in Toronto. He's a great guy, former pitcher. He didn't make it the big leagues, but he knows baseball really, really well, loves the sport, and is a hilarious, funny guy. So we're going to have him on the pod, hopefully next week, talk a little MLB season.
Yep. So we're moving on to wrestling. Speaking of WrestleMania, man, oh man, I just love, and now that because last year I guess there were shows, indie shows, but not like it was.
No, this feels like Mania's back. It feels like I'm getting excited for next week. It's only Friday afternoon, not even Saturday before Mania, and I'm so excited. Yeah. You know what I mean? We have 10 days to go.
That Friday, the ROH Supercard of Honor show.
Yeah.
It's just stacked right now.
Man, I'm so excited to see that whenever we can. It's going to be interesting. We might cover that on BAM also. We're gonna figure out how SNMU Radio treats that Supercard of Honor show. But eventually, at some point, someone will review that for you, I promise.
Yeah, exactly. There was a small possibility that there will be an aftercast of that show just because of the just the sheer.
It's kind of enormous. It'd be great if we can get a couple of the AEW guys who, if they're down and they're available, like that would be really, really cool. It's funny that it's going to compete with Rampage, though.
Yeah, go figure. Go figure. Right?
Crazy.
Yeah. And then even the Impact card, the Impact, they have their Multiverse of Matches card.
How do you feel? I know you love that name. How do you feel?
I hate
about
the name.
You hate it?
I hate it.
That's funny. I thought you'd like it just because, well, that's maybe I'm just stereotyping the comic book guy.
Wow.
Well, I know you're a comic book guy. You know what I mean? I figured you'd enjoy it. That's all.
Just because I'm Latino, I like tacos. Is that the next conversation we're going to have?
You took an awful big leap there, homie. But yes, that is exactly correct. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I might grab tacos after this.
Man, honestly, tacos sound unbelievable right now. I'm the perfect amount of just a little drunk and starving hungry. I would love some tacos.
Gus Tacos down the street.
They're so good. Yeah, there's one of the best taco places in Toronto is like 6 steps from our home. So yeah, you might have to hit up some Gus Tacos after this.
Anyways, Impact Wrestling next Friday.
Yeah.
ROH Supercut of Honor next Friday.
Before we move on, I wanted to ask you, do you think we're getting a pure title change? The newest match announced as of this moment is Boris's boy, the #1 overall draft pick in the ROH draft, pure champion Josh Woods, against the kind of like student of the week in AEW, kind of the teacher's pet in AEW, and Wheeler Yuta. I think Wheeler Yuta's winning this title, buddy.
I think we are getting a title change.
Ah, man. Are you upset? Because Josh Woods might get signed too. He's been on Dark.
Yeah, he's been on Dark. I don't know. I don't know. It just depends, right? It depends what the plan is for ROH. It depends who's going to graduate to AEW, the main roster.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very, very touch and go. I wonder if a Josh Woods ends up in the Moxley Danielson group. I wonder if that's a use for him.
He's the perfect fit for that, right?
I would think so. He's like the pure champion. I'm thinking they're going to add someone soon. It's either going to be Gresham or Claudio.
I think it's going to be Gresham.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler alert, Gresham is officially signed to AEW now.
Oh. Yep. Is that an exclusive? Is that Boris's inside info?
No, it's starting to come out.
Okay.
So, yeah, Gresham is... he's going to be AEW.
Nice.
So, and apparently Tony Khan is going to announce some woman coming soon, a female athlete, a female competitor, a female wrestler.
Huh. Who's a good female free agent?
I don't know.
First name that came to my mind was Frankie Monet, Taya Valkyrie. That'd be interesting. I think she's got a lot to offer.
Actually, I might be talking to her tomorrow in Mississauga.
Oh, true. Yeah, true say. That's cool.
Yeah, and Johnny Drip Drip.
Nice, man. Try to get them on the podcast. I would love to interview them.
That's literally my whole point.
Listen, I don't know. Obviously, wrestlers aren't sitting there probably listening to our shows, but if either of them listened to a second of the NXT talk show, they would know that we were humongous Frankie Monet fans, and we know that brand done that girl wrong. And Frankie Drip Drip and Johnny Drip Drip versus Miz and Maurice should be happening on WrestleMania.
Yep, but it's not. So yeah, in terms of, next week is just going to be absolutely crazy. And I know I've been saying this for a little while, but we will be kind of releasing more information on social media about what we're covering, what we're not covering, what we're going to be talking about. But for sure, this is what we're going to be talking about next Saturday. Matt and I are coming with an aftercast. That's a podcast of NXT Stand and Deliver. I looked at the guide. Stand and Deliver is scheduled from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern.
It's going to be very tough for us, because we're going to have to record that show. It's going to end at 4:30, record right away, and then we might miss some Mania. Our Mania coverage might start late only because we have to record the NXT podcast.
Yeah, and we are doing a live after party with all the patrons. And if you're not a patron, you can still watch on YouTube, but patrons can talk to us. So Matt and I are actually running the after party for WrestleMania Night 1. So that Saturday is going to be a long day, man.
I'm excited for it, though. I've been preparing for this mentally for honestly a month. This is my Waterloo, Boris. Wait, is that no? It's not that.
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
It's definitely not that.
It might be my Waterloo.
No, don't say that, homie. It is nobody's Waterloo except the listeners in Waterloo.
I miss Waterloo sometimes. Okay, and then Sunday, so Matt is just going all in on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we will have a flagship show on Sunday with Mike McGuire. And then Mike McGuire and myself are going to be doing the after party for WrestleMania Night 2.
It's going to be a lot of fun, buddy. Congratulations and best of luck to you because, yeah, you're putting in those works 2 nights, putting in that Boris time. So, man.
There's a lot going on that weekend.
Saturday is going to be a lot of fun, but that basically is the reason why Friday Boris and I are not able to volunteer to watch Supercard of Honor because, man, I actually kind of really wanted to, but I'm not doing all that.
Here's the thing about me. I need to watch it regardless because I'm covering it for Slam.
That's a good point. Yeah. Do you have to watch it live regardless?
The earlier the report can go out, the more hits we get.
Of course, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, it's much better if you do watch it live. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not saying yes.
I'm going to twist your arm
enough. Happening. That's if I'm watching it live, especially if you're downstairs on Friday night, we'll probably end up doing it.
I know exactly what's going to happen now. Hey, Matt, want to come down for some pizza? Watch some wrestling? I don't know what we're going to be watching. Could be SmackDown. Could be ROH.
Well, I got the mics right here. Might as well. Yeah, you bastard. You're gonna rope me into it. I am not committing to anything. And it's not that I don't,
keep on drinking and we'll get you on the mic.
It's not that I don't work hard and love our listeners and want to make, an impact and do good shows all the time. But it's kind of the reason why I don't want to do it, Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I promise this is my word to you, the listener. Someone at SNME Radio will eventually review that show.
Yeah, all right. So to a little more serious news, Triple H, like Matt said at the top of the show, it was like we kind of knew this was going to happen, but now it has been made official. Triple H will not be wrestling anymore. He officially announced his retirement on ESPN First Take with Stephen A. Smith. Man, dude, did you read and see how bad his heart troubles actually were?
Did you see, did you listen? Did you click on it? I was in the bathroom at work and I actually just clicked on it and watched the whole 3-minute video. And it was just he almost cried, and you can tell this was a serious health scare. And when Stephen A. Smith asked him about wrestling, he was like, no, he was like, oh no, that's not even in the question. No.
Well, he has a defibrillator now in his heart.
Yes.
So that there alone.
Oh man, it's just it's terrifying, but a blessing in the way that he also had pneumonia and was happened to cough up blood, and his wife Stephanie McMahon happened to say it and say, you need to go to get this checked out now, and thank God he did.
Yeah, and then at the hospital, that's when they detected heart failure. Basically, his heart just was not pumping enough blood. It got to the point where apparently, they measure this, by numbers, and it was just so low. It was just so low. Yeah.
The way Triple H put it was that he was at the 1-yard line, which is just, oh God, oh man. So yeah, thank God he lived, and it just maybe part of the reason why this is coming out now and Triple H wants to tell his story and kind of is because of the loss of Scott Hall, and it's kind of just, it's so sad that these things are coming out back to back. But I'm so thankful that we still have Triple H here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. It's so sad. Triple H is such a polarizing character. It's like a tale of two people. Especially if you consider his Click days, the China days, and then NXT Triple H, more and more fatherhood Triple H.
I was as big a Triple H hater as there ever was, honestly, man. I hated him. I at SummerSlam 2003, me and my friend Stefan and my other friend Brad, we were watching SummerSlam 2003, and Brad loved Triple H and Steph hated Triple H, and Steph and me were we bonded over our love of wrestling. I was in an E-Fed briefly with that guy. We had backyard matches over and over. That guy hit me in the head with so many things. Here I am telling old wrestling stories as if I've ever been in the ring. But you know what I mean? We loved wrestling. We bonded over wrestling. And that guy watched SummerSlam 2003 and watched Triple H hit Goldberg with that sledgehammer and beat him in the Elimination Chamber. And he fucking gave up. He gave up. He was like, I hate this. I can't do it anymore. I hate Triple H so much. I'm done with wrestling. And he quit. And man, he hasn't spoken about wrestling to me more than twice since then. That was in 2003. And I'm telling you, for like 5 or 6 years, we were like, that's all we talked about. That's all we did. We went to a summer camp together at Camp Walden near Renfrew, and we had matches in the cabin, and kids would come around and like, man, yeah, we loved and ate and breathed wrestling. And Triple H made that guy stop watching. Full stop. Cold turkey.
Yeah, I can see that, honestly. He's such a polarizing character, right? But when you see what he's done for the business over the past 8 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hard to hold that grudge still. Like, unless you stopped watching WWE in 2003 because of him, like, I don't know how you still hold that grudge at all. You know what I mean? Like, look what he did with NXT, and look how bad NXT got when he was removed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think his contributions to the wrestling industry, man, are like, they're unfuckwithable, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And we've been hearing more stories, like, you know, of Triple H laying out matches, you know, in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And everyone already saying, this kid knows something.
Absolutely. Something that X-Pac, I believe, possibly Diesel as well. I don't think I actually heard Scott Hall say this, but I've heard from other sources other than Scott Hall that Triple H was instrumental in putting together the SummerSlam 1995 ladder match. We talked about it on Monday Night Bam, but a lot of people like that more than the WrestleMania match. A lot of people think that's one of the great wrestling matches of all time, and that was Triple H laying that match out was kind of one of the moments where everyone knew, holy shit, like this guy is like a wrestling genius.
Yeah, and seeing the outpouring of especially NXT people, you know, and just calling him the GOAT, you know, and wishing him the best, and just you can see so much raw emotion around their messages.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because ever since NXT Talk, I've followed a lot of NXT people on Instagram. Basically, like if I see you come up on Insta or I think of you while I'm on Insta, I'll follow you because why not? And almost everyone I follow who is NXT related, just Triple H is the GOAT. Like, and a picture of them with Triple H, and a picture of them like hugging Triple H, and like you can tell like when someone means it and when someone's like just farting out like a social media post for whatever reason. And there was like heartfelt, genuine emotion behind these posts today.
Yeah, even someone who's been out of WWE for a few years, Kathy Kelly, you know, who worked closely with Triple H in NXT, you know, doing the Facebook Lives and whatnot. You know, someone who has nothing to do with the business anymore, just with a heartfelt message for him.
Exactly. Even like people like Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, who are probably out of WWE. Candice LeRae raising a son right now. You know, not that Johnny's not raising the son too, but you know what I mean. It's obviously significantly harder on the mother than the father in the first couple months. I think that's clear. I don't think that's insulting anybody to say that. And yeah, man, it's just like, it was actually like kind of beautiful in its own way to see the outpouring of love. And it was just like, if you can go on Instagram today, follow any 10 NXT people that you've ever enjoyed from the time that you started watching NXT. Follow 10 of them at random. Scroll through their Instas, and if you still hate Triple H, you know, I don't even know what to say to you. I think at this point, like, I think Triple H has clearly and obviously done more good than bad to the wrestling business. And he did some bad. He did some bad.
We're not saying he's perfect, right? But his contributions to the business that you and I talk about, man, he's done so much for it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I got to ask you this.
Hit me.
What's your favorite Triple H match? I know what it is.
I actually can say it off the top of my head because I think it's my favorite match of all time. And there are a couple close. Like, I think Cactus versus Triple H is 5 stars. I think maybe Cactus versus Triple H Hell in a Cell might be 5 stars too. It's really close and goddamn great. He's got a couple great ones. But I honestly think that my favorite match of all time is Shawn Michaels versus Triple H at SummerSlam 2002. I just think watching that match live on that day at that time, no other wrestling match ever gave me that feeling. No other wrestling match has ever worked me to that degree, where when you're watching it, you're like, oh wow, it's clear Shawn Michaels isn't that hurt. Like, he's fine because he couldn't do this if he wasn't fine. But you're still like, oh, Triple H, man, don't do this to Shawn. Like, you could hurt him. But Triple H, don't backbreaker him on the chair. You could break his back, Triple H. And then when you add in the way we rate matches, Boris, and I'm glad that we're kind of in the same, like, in tune on this, on the same page. where you add in Jim Ross's perhaps best career performance, definitely his best career call, in my opinion, at the end of that match. Do you have no conscience? Do you have no soul? You son of a bitch, do you realize what you've done? Oh my God, man. It's just, yeah, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. that night just staring at my ceiling, heart racing, because of a fucking fake pro wrestling match. Like, that's fucking insane. That's insane. But no piece of entertainment made me feel the way that match made me feel that night.
Yeah, honestly, like wrestling, what wrestling does is just unreal, and everyone who listens to this show understands that, right? Like, it's just crazy. My favorite Triple H match, and you already called it out, and that's Triple H Cactus Jack, the Royal Rumble match.
Incredible. So incredible. We talked about that at length during our Royal Rumble show. We rated that the number 2 Royal Rumble match of all time. The only one was better. It was Flair 1992 Royal Rumble, and even that's debatable. Cactus in Madison Square Garden putting over Triple H like that. Pedigree in the thumbtacks finish. Another amazing call by Jim Ross.
Yep, exactly. The Triple H has had so many good matches. His run from 1999, I would have to say, until WrestleMania 18 X8, whatever you want to call it, I think that was like peak Triple H.
I think you're right. And he had some bangers after that. He had some awesome matches with Flair. 2 off the top of my head. There was a Raw match that was incredible, and a Taboo Tuesday match. I want to say it was a cage match that's like 5 stars, 4.5, 5, like all-time classic.
Yep. Yeah. So honestly, like I'm happy that Triple H can make the decision to retire.
I'm happy. Yeah, man. I'm happy that he's healthy. I'm happy he's here. And I hope his contributions to the wrestling business are not forgotten. And I hope he gets to make many more, decades more contributions. I hope it's in WWE. Well, one day, man, we should do like a separate, like 40-minute, perhaps a video essay on the fact that Triple H was fucking jobbed out and robbed, and it's not his fault that NXT didn't beat AEW. It's not Triple H's fault that AEW is in business. You know what I mean? It's like he got the blame for the fact that AEW exists, and it's bullshit and it's wrong, and more people should say it. I just want to say it.
Yeah. Good on you. All right, before we talk to New Japan, I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to talk about some wrestling that I've been watching on the side.
Oh, hit me, buddy. I'm excited.
Dude. So I've been actually watching, obviously, Impact here and there. I've been doing some coverage on it for Slam as Bob was away. Dude, their next pay-per-view, the build between Josh Alexander and Moose is top notch.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that too, because the reason why I stopped watching Impact was just the intergender stuff, man. Like I just can't do it. But I recognize that they're doing good work. It's just like the hot button for me.
Yeah,
I just can't do it.
And no, this build-up has just been great. Like the past few weeks, it's been back and forth. Josh Alexander signs the contract. Moose refuses to sign. Scott D'Amore is basically saying, you don't sign, you're out. Like, there's just so much tension. You know, obviously they're bringing the family back into it. Nice. The build-up has honestly been like Brian Pillman, Stone Cold level of just awesome.
Amazing. Are they wrestling on Multiverse of matches?
No, they're actually wrestling at Rebellion, which is the next Impact Plus show in like April 23rd.
Okay, cool. Like all right, so they have a lot of time to extend this build. That's good for Impact. Do you think we're getting a title change?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. All things can... If Josh Alexander doesn't win, this is like Lex Luger level of...
Oh, that's tough. I'm not watching the show, so I'll take your word for that. But at least he has won, right? He has held the belt, and he got fucked out of it. It's a little different, because Lex Luger just lost every big match. It's a little different.
Did he lose matches? He got DQ'd. He got DQ'd twice. He got DQ'd at SummerSlam 93 because he used the forearm. Yeah. And then at WrestleMania 10, he touched Mr. Perfect.
It's a really good point. And like another famous one is the blood stoppage at Baltimore. I want to say it's Great American Bash 88, might be Starrcade 88. It's an all-time classic match. But you're right. Maybe he wasn't just losing. Maybe he was slipping on banana peels and getting fucked the entire time. Yeah.
Also another great build-up, and they finally hit that button with Chelsea Green. She is now full-on heel. Her, Mickie James, that's the destination.
Yes, and that match is happening at Multiverse of Matches. That's one that we pegged for NWA, but they're doing it on TNA Impact, which, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it there. And then talking about NWA, I did something I never thought I would do again.
Watch Power?
Yeah.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Dude, match,
Sorry.
one of the matches of the week. I'm not going to say match of the week because that's Seth Rollins, AJ Styles match from Raw.
It was dope.
Might be my match of the week.
Oh, man. Well, yeah.
And I'm including an
That-
incredible set of matches from Dynamite.
Yes. Oh, yeah. True. I would say I have Punk versus Dax slightly ahead of AJ versus Seth, which was also great. Really, just great.
1-2.
Yeah.
Way down here, way down below is number 3. And we're like, you can't compare it to those two matches. But OGK, I never thought I would say this.
Oh, your boy Taven.
Matt Taven. Matt fucking Taven. Yeah, and Kanellis there against the Briscoes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Really good match.
And that was on Impact.
That was on Power.
Oh. Wow. Man, there's so much good wrestling out there.
And
We're
another
so
match
spoiled.
on Power,
We're
which
so
was
spoiled.
good. Homicide, the guy who I'm just... there's the obvious bias that we have with Colby
Hardcore
Carino.
bias. This is a Colby Carino podcast. We do not apologize for that. Please go on.
Homicide versus Austin Aries.
Oh, because when we were watching that match, we were like, we're sad Colby doesn't win. But you know what? Homicide, he deserves it. But we ripped Austin Aries in that match. I listened back to that podcast and I was like, oh God, we sewered this guy. It was not good.
Yeah,
But at the same
happens.
time, maybe he is not good.
Yeah, he's
anymore.
not a good person, that's for sure.
He was an incredible wrestler in his day, but I stand by what I said. When you work an athletic style and you're just based on speed and impressive moves and you lose a step, you're fucked. You're in deep trouble.
Some can say Homicide lost a step, right?
But Homicide has more of that brawling. He has more of that dare I say more of that psychology? Is that fair to say?
I think so.
I think so,
it's very
too.
fair. Anyways, Homicide versus Austin Aries for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. That's another match that people should check out.
Nice. Okay. Worthy perhaps of the list of 122.
Yep.
Might be the sole NWA match on the list.
If one NWA match even ends up on that list.
Last year we had one in the 50 hardest cuts and none on the list. But I didn't want to cut it. It was a very hard cut. If I had like a 3 hardest cuts, I probably would have made that list.
Oh, that's amazing. But yeah, dude, there we go. Yeah, honestly, a very good season premiere of NWA Power. I'm kind of looking forward to things.
Hey, man, don't apologize for that. I like liking wrestling, and if they're doing good things, that's fucking great. That's dope. Good for them.
Yep. Just want to remind everyone that tomorrow, if you're in the GTA, that's Greater Toronto Area, Layla Hirsch is going to be at Gotham Central Comics. That's in Mississauga. That's Gotham Central Comics. Beautiful comic store. If you're a collector, this is the comic store for you. Layla Hirsch is going to be there 1 to 4 p.m. That's Gotham Comics.
That's really cool. What day is that again?
Saturday, March the 26th.
Beautiful. Shout out legit Layla Hirsch. That's dope.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. All right, let's talk some New Japan.
Man, so yeah, this most recent New Japan Cup show had 2 bangers on it. The final 2 matches were Hiromu Takahashi versus Shingo Takagi, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay. Couple good English lads mixing it up in the main event. And Hiromu versus Shingo was awesome. Those guys are incredible. They beat the piss out of each other. But I'm telling you, this Zack Sabre versus Will Ospreay match, my opinion, top 5 match of the year. Just top-notch, top-level stuff. Beautiful scientific wrestling while also telling a clear, concise story. Just a brilliant piece of work. I don't even know how high to rate it. I really have to think about it versus the other matches I have in the top 5.
Yep. Honestly, I'm going to be like, I'm going to throw it out there. I wanted to watch this so bad, but I just got so busy.
Man, these things happen. Yeah. So, not that you shouldn't watch Hiromu Shingo because it was like 4 1/4 at least. But I honestly, I think I might watch Sabre Will Ospreay again because I didn't quite pay enough attention to say like, oh shit, that might have been a 5-star match. You know what I mean? But like that thing was off the chain. Like every single second, it was crisp. And like I said, like it's one thing to just be doing moves, you know what I mean? But they told a very clear, very easy to understand, very rewarding story that paid off, I think, with a pretty damn clever, unique finish. So, Zack Sabre Jr. I'm actually not even going to spoil this one. Zack Sabre Jr. versus, well, no, we'll do it. Spoilers for this match, because I do think that you should see it sight unseen, not knowing who wins. But big blaring spoilers right now. Zack Sabre Jr. taps him out. But the way they do it is he's working on Ospreay's leg, and it looks Ospreay's like it kind of, you can explain that Ospreay's trying to hit his leg. Like it wasn't a tap, it was an offensive move. Do you know what I mean? So they kind of left that shred. And I've never seen that finish before.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never once seen that finish. I think it's pretty damn clever. And that finish after the match that they had, I'm just like, I'm a little bit blown away right now. Like that thing was goddamn incredible.
Honestly, I'm pegging that to be the main event at Wrestle Kingdom next January.
Ooh, night 1 maybe?
Night 1, night 2, doesn't matter. They're main eventing something.
We've said it, and I think it's happening. He might not win the cup, but Zack Sabre's winning the G1 this fall. I think that's going to happen.
No, I'm my pick was Zack Sabre to win the cup.
Yeah, you did say that at the start. Hey, man, I friggin' hope so. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is so incredibly talented. An unexplored character. He's got like a great character and is a good promo guy secretly, but you don't ever hear it because of where he works. But like if he worked in AEW, I honestly think that guy could be like upper mid-card main eventer. He could be like kind of where Adam Cole is.
Right.
I honestly think so. I think he's that talented, like in a personality way too. So I don't know, man. That match was absolutely incredible, Boris. You gotta check that out. I would say top 5 match of the year. At this moment, do you want the top 5, Boris?
Let's give the top 5.
In no particular order. So we have Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr. from the New Japan Cup. Ospreay versus Okada from the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Just absolutely incredible matches. I think you got to put Dragunov versus Jordan Devlin Empty Arena in there, man. I think you absolutely have to. That thing blew my damn mind. That match was a war. If you haven't seen the Ilya Dragunov versus Jordan Devlin Empty Arena match, go watch it right now.
Yeah. That match was incredible. Honestly, that match was incredible.
Yeah, so good. And then 2 AEW matches also. Danielson versus Moxley, fucking war. And the ladder match, man, Cody versus Sammy. Tell me that match didn't just blow your socks off.
It was great.
It was so
honestly great.
And I think that's our top 5 of the year right now. In any order that you want to put them.
Seth Cody's going to be number 1 by the end of the year.
So you're saying there's adrenaline in your soul at this moment.
My boy. Always loved him.
Doesn't this bit just confirm your anti-AEW bias, though?
Not at all.
No?
Why? Well, how?
Well, because you hated Cody 5 months ago.
And?
Wow, what's the common denominator?
Yeah, who said I hated him?
That's, there you go. I guess you fake news in me right now, Boris. How dare you?
Stuff happens. All right. Anything else you want to talk about New Japan?
I'm very excited for the semifinals. I think it's going to be a pretty dope little tournament. Well, we've already gotten, 5 or 6 list-worthy matches, like above 4-star matches. Okada versus Desperado was great. Hiromu versus Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, yeah.
Just like all these things are, these New Japan Cup is like the redheaded stepchild of the G1.
And what's funny is that, and I should have known better. I don't know why I doubt New Japan. But when you saw the field and how New Japan Cup was, because it was like a 1,000-man tournament, it was like the FA Cup of wrestling.
Yes.
It honestly, just seeing the brackets, it honestly took me out. But I should have known better.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Yeah, because you're like Master Wato versus Okada. Why is Gato getting a bye? But like when you actually make it through the tournament, and now we're at the Final Four, and we've had 6 4-star matches, and we're getting 2 more at least, and probably a third in the final. Oof, man. It's been a really, really good tournament, and New Japan keeps cranking out the classics.
And you know what's going to be a classic this weekend?
What's that?
Stardom.
Oh, that's a great call.
The Stardom World Climax, the return of Kairi, FKA Kairi Sane. That's going to be so good.
The pirate formerly known as the Pirate Princess got a raw deal, getting absolutely injured and her neck almost broken and concussed numerous times by Nia Jax, who is out of the business now. So good on you, Kairi Sane. Thank you for coming back, and I'm excited to see what you can do.
Yep. And she's going to be on a tag team match on night 1. That's March 26th. So it's going to be Mayu Iwatani and Kairi versus Tam Nakano and Unagi Sayaka.
Awesome match on paper. Like, all 4 of those women can
But
really
I'm looking forward to the World of Stardom Championship. It's my girl, Julia versus Sayuri.
Oh, yeah, man. That is going to be a war. And, they've built this match very, very well. I'm very excited to see who does come out of it, too, because the following evening, the winner gets, what is it, Mayu? I believe it's Mayu, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that was it was Julia versus Mayu who had that awesome draw earlier in the year that set this whole thing up, right? Yeah. And that match, that draw is top 10, top 20 match at worst of the year, too.
Yeah. Singles match. I'm actually looking forward to this. It's Mirai versus Saya Lida. That's going to be a good one.
Interesting. I'm actually not familiar with either of them.
That's going to be a very good one, in my opinion. The Future of Stardom Championship. You have Hanan versus Renan. So that should be pretty good. This card just up and down is crazy.
And it'll be interesting, too, because, Tegan Knox, Toni Storm, there are some people now who are free agents who might,
They could
dip their toes. Frankie Monet. You never know. Some of these
Session
people,
Moth Martina might show up.
And that's just saying people who are, tangentially related to the product. It could be anybody who shows up. Hopefully, Stardom starts doing some more of those things as their star grows, as they start to make more money and start to become more popular.
And they have been, honestly, even a year ago, we were still might as well watch this Stardom. We kind of heard of stuff here and there, but now we're the ones, just selling it.
Yeah, absolutely. But, because it's really good. If you do watch it and you start to understand, how absolutely incredible these wrestlers are, you get addicted. It's really, really good. If you love wrestling, you're going to love Stardom.
Yeah, exactly. And you can watch it here in Canada. There's a streaming service along with, is it DDT that they team up with?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, actually, I just watched Tetsuya Endo versus Konosuke Takashita. It was a 46-minute match. I did watch that the other day. It was the main event of DDT 25, their 25th anniversary. So that match is absolutely fucking incredible. It's a 46-minute war. It's like... Have you heard the MJF interview? Yeah. The type of matches that he slags on, that he slams, that's what that match was. But for 46 minutes, they were doing the most incredible moves you've ever seen. So
yeah. And now with the DDT AEW kind of partnership, Danhausen, when he recovers from his broken leg, you know where he's going to show up.
It's actually a really good call. But yeah, no, it's cool because somebody like Tetsuya Endo is somebody who I've watched maybe 2 or 3 times in his career. I'm sure he's an incredible wrestler, and he, the big stars in DDT are about to at least get some, some kind of exposure, and hopefully there's a Riho, hopefully there's a Hikaru Shida, hopefully there's 2 or 3 people who are really sick and can make an impact overseas.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just right now, there's just so many possibilities in Japan. So Japan, I can tell you, Japan is now open for business. Literally open for business people.
Nice.
My CEO just flew out to Tokyo because he has so much business to do out there. We have a subsidiary out there, so he has a ton of work to do. And that means that, wrestlers can start coming back and forth a little more.
That's really, really encouraging. I wonder if things perhaps would open up around the time of... the summer. Hopefully, I knock on wood because stranger things have happened. But hopefully, by next Wrestle Kingdom, we could have a full Tokyo Dome.
Ooh, yeah. I hope so. Man, this episode we got deep.
Yeah, it was a little all over the place. That's what happens when we're cranking all this. What is this? 9 Locks Dirty, the second best Canadian beer out there.
Oh, man. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Greg, again for this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. This episode was sponsored by Greg Feltham, the Smack Daddy. And, I think, buddy, I think that pretty much does it.
All right, man. So, yeah, we have tons still on the SNME network. Tomorrow is Saturday. That means it's those shows Saturday. You got the Smack Daddies, Brad and Greg chatting all things SmackDown. Essentially, tonight, it is the go home show of SmackDown, because I feel like next Friday they're going to do something special, and then the Hall of Fame. So, essentially, in my opinion, tonight is the go home show of SmackDown.
I think history has shown us that last SmackDown before WrestleMania is basically a recap show. They might do the Andre Battle Royal. They've done that before, but there's like 1 or 2 matches, mostly recap.
Yep. And then the Dark Side of the Elite are back as they chat all things Rampage on the Rampage rollout. So you better check both shows out. Then on Sunday, Mike McGuire is back with the flagship show, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a preview of WrestleMania, because next Saturday and Sunday, we're all busy watching WrestleMania. Next week, we have tons. And I know I've been saying, I'm going to announce it, we're going to talk it, but we're still figuring stuff out here on the, behind the curtains. Who's doing what? Who's covering what? Who wants to talk? Who wants to do what? But we got tons of shows for all the patrons. So just a reminder, next Saturday, Stand and Deliver. You're getting a podcast featuring myself and Matt. That's after Stand and Deliver. Saturday night, after WrestleMania Saturday, Matt and I are going live on the Zoomage for the after party. On Sunday, we have the flagship show with Mike McGuire. And then at night, after WrestleMania Night 2, WrestleMania Sunday, myself, Boris, and Mike McGuire are coming at you live with the after party for WrestleMania Sunday.
Oh, if I'm still awake, and I promise you I won't be, but if by the grace of God, that I am awake Sunday night, I'm going to call in. I'll make sure that you live through WrestleMania and that you're still hanging in there. But I'm so excited for Saturday. I'm actually fired up for it. I can't wait.
And I'm fired up for the Friday, because somehow I'm going to get you down here. We're going to watch some Ring of Honor. We're going to podcast about it with a tear in my eye.
Woo! All right, that Ric Flair reference may have done it. I will not guarantee anything on microphone, but what I will say is that the SNME radio family will produce a show about Supercard of Honor, even if Boris and I have to do it the next week, the following cement.
Yeah. And we're going to even talk some Impact. There's so much on the go. Thank you, everyone, for listening. He's Matt. I'm Boris. We're out. Until next time, gracias.
Glad you're still here, Triple H. Yeah.